The moon landing. Myth versus reality. The Apollo 11. Moon landing is one of the most iconic events in human history. On July 20th, 1969, astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first humans to set foot on the moon, marking a monumental achievement for humanity. However, despite the overwhelming evidence supporting the reality of the moon landing, some people still believe it was faked by NASA. This exploration delves into the myth and the reality of the moon landing, examining the evidence and debunking the conspiracy theories with accurate facts and figures. The myth that the moon landing was faked, the conspiracy theory that the Apollo 11 moon landing was faked by NASA has persisted for decades. Proponents of this theory argue that the moon landing was staged in a studio to win the space race against the Soviet Union. They claim that the photographs, videos, and other evidence are fabricated and that the entire event was a hoax. Some common arguments include: Number 1. The flag appears to flutter in the wind. Conspiracy theorists argue that the American flag appears to flutter in the wind, which would be impossible on the moon where there is no atmosphere. Number 2. No stars in the sky. Photographs from the moon landing show a black sky with no visible stars, leading some to believe the images were taken in a studio. Number 3. Inconsistent shadows. Some claim that the shadows in the photographs are inconsistent, suggesting multiple light sources, which would be impossible under the single light source of the sun. Number 4. The Van Allen radiation belts. Conspiracy theorists argue that the Van Allen radiation belts would have been too dangerous for the astronauts to pass through, making the journey to the moon impossible. Number 5. The lack of impact. Craters. Some claim that the lunar module's descent should have left a noticeable crater, but none is visible in the photographs. The reality. Extensive evidence supports the moon landing. Despite the claims of conspiracy theorists, the reality of the moon landing is supported by a vast amount of evidence. Here are some key points that confirm the authenticity of the Apollo 11 mission. Number 1. Photographs and videos. NASA has released thousands of photographs and videos from the Apollo 11 mission. These images have been analyzed by experts and found to be genuine. The flag appears to flutter due to the movement of the astronauts as they planted it, and the lack of stars in the sky is due to the brightness of the lunar surface, which overexposed the film. Number 2. Moon rocks. The Apollo missions brought back 382 kilograms of lunar rocks and soil. These samples have been studied by scientists around the world and have provided invaluable insights into the composition of the moon. The rocks have been independently verified by international laboratories, confirming their lunar origin. Number 3. International verification. The Soviet Union, which was in direct competition with the United States during the space race, had the capability to monitor the Apollo missions. The Soviets confirmed the authenticity of the moon landings, as did other countries with space programs. Number 4. Tracking and telemetry data. The Apollo missions were tracked by multiple ground stations around the world. The telemetry data, which includes detailed information about the spacecraft's position, speed, and other parameters, confirms that the missions reached the moon. Number 5. Independent verification. The European Space Agency, ESA, and other international space agencies have used modern technology to verify the Apollo landing sites. High-resolution images from lunar orbiters have captured the remnants of the Apollo missions, including the descent stages of the lunar modules, footprints, and tracks left by the astronauts. Number 6. Scientific consensus. The scientific community overwhelmingly supports the reality of the moon landings. The evidence is consistent with the laws of physics and has been verified by multiple independent sources. Debunking the conspiracy theories. Let's address some of the most common conspiracy theories with accurate facts and figures. Number 1. The flag appears to flutter in the wind. The flag appears to flutter due to the movement of the astronauts as they planted it. The flagpole was not perfectly stable, and the motion of the astronauts caused the flag to move. Additionally, the flag was made of a stiff material that retained some of its shape, giving the appearance of fluttering. Number 2. No stars in the sky. The lack of visible stars in the photographs is due to the brightness of the lunar surface. The exposure settings used to capture the astronauts and the lunar module were optimized for the bright conditions, making the stars too faint to be visible. This is a common occurrence in photography, where bright objects can wash out the background. Number 3. Inconsistent shadows. The shadows in the photographs are consistent with the single light source of the sun. The apparent inconsistencies are due to the complex topography of the lunar surface and the angles at which the photographs were taken. Detailed analysis by experts has confirmed that the shadows are consistent with the expected geometry. Number 4. The Van Allen radiation belts. The Van Allen radiation belts do pose a risk to astronauts, but the Apollo missions were carefully planned to minimize exposure. The spacecraft passed through the belts quickly, and the astronauts were protected by the spacecraft's shielding. Detailed studies have confirmed that the radiation doses received by the astronauts were within safe limits. Number 5. The lack of impact. Craters. The lunar module's descent engines were designed to slow the spacecraft to a gentle landing. The engines did not produce enough force to create a noticeable crater. Additionally, the lunar surface is covered in a layer of dust and regolith, which would absorb the impact without leaving a significant crater. The importance of critical thinking. The persistence of the moon landing conspiracy theories highlights the importance of critical thinking and the need to approach such claims with skepticism. While it is natural to question extraordinary claims, it is essential to base conclusions on verifiable evidence and scientific consensus. The reality of the moon landing is supported by a vast amount of evidence, including photographs, videos, moon rocks, and international verification. Conclusion: the Apollo 11 moon landing was a monumental achievement that marked a significant milestone in human history. Despite the claims of conspiracy theorists, the reality of the moon landing is supported by extensive evidence. The photographs, videos, moon rocks, and international verification all confirm that the astronauts did indeed land on the moon. The conspiracy theories, while intriguing, lack credible evidence and are inconsistent with the laws of physics and scientific consensus. In a world filled with misinformation and conspiracy theories, it is crucial to approach such claims with critical thinking and to base conclusions on verifiable evidence. The moon landing remains one of humanity's greatest achievements, a testament to human ingenuity and the spirit of exploration.